Greetings, programs. Welcome back to CK2, episode, I don't even know, 38, I think. I mean, we're getting close to 40 episodes now. At least I think it's 38. I'd have to double check that. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed the special, the Aztec special that I did, those of you that watched it. That was quite fun to do, just going on a complete conquesty rampage across all of Scandinavia. And it probably would have been even easier to do with this version of the game, version 2.04, but I was using the bang up-to-date version, and every ward you declare successively, it gets that little bit harder, because there's the defensive pact mechanic going on. So, yes, thank goodness for the fact that we're not having to deal with that in this particular version, because I'm about to go to war again in Finland. Now, last time round we successfully beat a civil war, and we've actually, I think, still got a bunch of people, a couple of dukes in prison, all ready to be ransomed, but I'm also trying to push through High Crown Authority for Scotland. Now, if I do, I'm kind of tempted to flip succession laws to primogeniture. And then I might actually, because I won't be able to do the same for Wales, I might actually then do what I did with the Irish crown. I might actually destroy the Welsh crown and just have the Scottish crown. And that's, again, a bit gamey, but having one crown be a tanistry and the other crown be a primogeniture would be a recipe for, like, the Welsh crown would split for sure from my main holdings. So it's definitely, like, if it comes to that, if I can get High Crown Authority, if I can get primogeniture going, then it has some benefits. I mean, Tanistry's been working out all right, but it's just as we're getting larger, as we're getting more territory under our control, it might be more beneficial to switch to being a primogeniture. Now, that's especially true when it comes to having an imperial title later on, because if I've got an empire title and multiple crown titles that I'm holding, I mean, you can delegate those crown titles, but that potentially is going to cause civil war problems later on. And because in this version of the game I don't have to worry about vassals, I can have as many vassals as I like, there's no vassal limit in this earlier version, then honestly, I'm very tempted just to have a single imperial title. Maybe keep the Crown of Scotland as an existing title as well, and just have that one imperial title be a primogeniture title. Or I could keep it being a tanistry title, but just have one title to keep everything together, rather than have multiple crowns and multiple groups of people electing tanists. So that's for the future, though. That's if I can get High Crown Authority passed for Scotland, basically. So, yeah, Finland is our next move. Beyond that, I'm not sure I really have a plan for this episode. I think we're still on a cooldown with Scotland. Not Scotland, England. Wow, I am Scotland. I think I'm still on a cooldown with England. Not that we have any claims right now. Although, actually, having said that, I've got some de jure claims. But, yeah, truce until 1245. So we've got the better part of a decade still to go. That's, what, 7 years, just about? 6 and a bit years. And it would be a massive prestige hit if we break that truce. So we're not going to. That's a big hit for no reason. There's also the possibility of, as I noted last time round, maybe taking the French crown, because we have Jedi that is the heir of France, but France is losing against Castile, so it looks very likely that there is going to be once again a consolidation between these crowns, and then probably more civil wars further down the line, because it's going to be a Castilian culture character. He's still a Capet, but he's a Castilian Capet, and it's going to end up with kind of massive cultural differences between these two, so it's going to be civil wars for sure. Talking of civil wars, also, the heir to England is a Salian, who's German, and I think I maybe made some jokes about this last time, German being on the throne of England, but that almost certainly will spark some civil wars as well. I would not be surprised. So that's going to be more instability in England that I can potentially take advantage of. And elsewhere on the map, I don't think there's much else going on. I mean, I think I noted that last time. Elsewhere, it's all looking fairly... I mean, there's nothing I can particularly take advantage of, I don't think. So, yeah, I really just have to decide what I'm going to do after Finland. I do have a claim on Satakunta, but I'm also allied with this count. So it would mean attacking an ally, which does cost you a little bit of prestige. And it would, I think, make my vassals not particularly look favourably on me. If I can get a fake Scottish character on the throne of Alba, then it's fine. I can probably diplomatically vassalize this guy. But Edinfed, who is still going strong at the age of 64, he's Welsh. The heir is Polish. So it's probably not going to happen anytime in the future. And actually, before we even... I've been going for like minutes now, and I haven't even unpaused yet, but I was just quickly flicking through the ledger, just looking, and it just continues to amuse me quite how diverse the McJedis have become. So if I look at the dynasty page, and this tells me, you know, that's all the people with titles, and then this is the rest of the living members of the dynasty. But look at the culture list. So we've got a bunch of Welsh McJedis. Actually, we'll do it the other way around. So we've got at the top, we've got a bunch of Ashkenazi, basically kind of culturally Jewish McJedis. We've got all the fake Scottish McJedis. We've got one Frankish McJedi, and that's actually the son that went off to join the Knights Templar. He's actually culture flipped to be Frankish, which is interesting. We've got one single lone, very lonely Irish McJedi. We've got a couple of Polish McJedis, one of whom is the Tannist, and then the rest are all Welsh. So it's rather diverse. It's rather diverse indeed. So let's unpause. Let's get the outliner popped out, and let's actually... who's this? Dristan McJedi, my grandson. Actually, let's get him married. Yeah, I'm going to get my troops up. We're going to go to Finland, and we're going to get that particular party started. So, why did that go away? I don't know. Anyway, let's try and get him married to somebody. The Duchess of Athens. She's 3. He'd be waiting a while. We can marry him to a princess of Carpathia, although her stats aren't particularly good. The Salian princess of the Holy Roman Empire, who's about to come of age. Norwegian countess, whose stats are really terrible. She's got pretty good stats, actually. This lady here, this Italian courtier in Benevento, but she's not particularly an important character, but she does have very, very nice stats. I think I'm going to marry for stats in this particular case. Dristan, I mean, he's unlanded, he's not particularly an important character, so we'll go for breeding rather than for alliances, I think, there. So anyway, yes. Hame, or... was it Hame? I think it was Hame. Somebody said it sounded like skirt. It was like the Finnish word for skirt or something. The way I was pronouncing it. And I'm not quite sure how you pronounce it. But that's like... It's got some other name, that region these days. It's like Tavastland or something. I've probably said that horribly wrong. In fact, I've probably gotten that completely wrong. Not even just having said it wrong. It's probably completely the wrong name. But... yeah, it's Hame as it is at the moment, and so yeah, but there's a kind of a Scottish connection there, because the Scots are all about wearing skirts, whether they be men or women, right? That's a thing, right? So let us let's actually declare war against this Estonian remover character, because we've got this claim. Oh, I've actually got a holy war possibility. But we're not going to go with that, because I've put the time and effort into making a proper claim. So we're going to do that. So let's raise the troops. He's got no allies. Because it's not a holy war, he's also got no hope of bringing anybody in. So in total, that's probably going to be about 10,000 troops. So how many boats do I want to raise? Can I actually... how do I see... I can't remember how I see how many boats have... oh, there we go. 41 boats. So we'll raise those boats. And I need... how many boats do I need? I think that's actually enough boats right there. And that will eat up some of my money, but that's fine. Jurahi McJedi, so we'll get him married off. This is another grandson. Oh, the Duchess of Provence. That actually, yeah, I think that's. I mean, that's slightly closer than Athens. We're still gonna have to wait a few years, but we'll get that going as a betrothal. So absolutely, there we go. Spread the McJedis around a bit. Right, let's unpause. How's the law change going? Let's have a look. Did we actually? Yes, we've passed the High Crown Authority law, so that's absolutely fantastic. Now that means I can basically, next time I'm at peace, I can switch to primogeniture, and I think this is probably a. I mean, we'll wait until I'm at peace. I'll destroy the Crown of Wales because it's. I'm not going to be able to. Or Scotland, as I changed it to, but yeah, I'm not going to be able to change those crown laws within Idinfed's lifetime, basically. Although, well, no, I mean, yeah, no, we'll do it because if I change it to primogeniture, it's actually going to then flip to being the eldest son, which is, oh no, it won't be him because he's. It'll be this guy, this young lad, Prince Brychan, or Brychan, probably Brychan, Brychan. I doubt it's that somehow. Yeah, so it's going to be this 2-year-old lad. So that's going to be the disadvantage of switching to primogeniture. I'm going to have to much more carefully think about the children of my main characters. So, although Tanistry does have its benefits, I think it's time to just think about consolidating a bit in terms of preparing for the future, preparing for an imperial title, and not having to juggle multiple crown titles in terms of Tanistry laws. There we go. So that marriage proposal has, betrothal has been accepted, so that's fine. Oh, actually, no, that was the marriage, wasn't it? That was the courtier, Matilda. Someone wants to invite me to a plot to claim the Duchy of Ulster. I will decline that because the current Duke of Ulster is actually my kin, Duke Sadia McJedi, one of the Ashkenazi characters who's currently in prison. I wonder if I can. No, in more modern versions of the game, you've got the kind of option of, you know, put them under house arrest, send them to the oubliettes, which they don't like very much. Right, also, as we've actually gotten the crown laws passed, we're just going to ransom all these dukes. And as you can see, that's 145 gold to go. That's really like, I could just release them and they'd have a more positive opinion of me, but this is too good of an opportunity to give up in terms of just like, a cash cow. Why? Mace is my... What? But somebody else has got more votes. I'm confused. Why would the person that has only one vote... What? I don't understand what's going on there. I definitely have voted for Christin myself, right? Or Kristen. Why is he the heir to... What? I don't understand what you're doing, game. I don't understand why the guy with 2 votes is not the Tanist for Wales. That's quite confusing. That's really quite confusing. In fact, I'm actually maybe going to accelerate things a little and destroy the Crown of Wales right now. Which is going to give me a big prestige hit, and it's going to make those 2 dukes not like me very much, but... I don't know. It does have the risk of precipitating another war, a civil war. It also means I'm no longer going to get a de jure claim on these 2 counties. So any further claims against England are going to have to be ones I manufacture, or it's going to be pressing claims of characters in my court. But I don't... No, if the game's going to do things like that, if it's going to just ignore the votes, the Tanistry votes, and go, nope, then I'm just going to do that right now. In fact, we're just going to dispense with that nonsense. We can also, oh my God, get rid of that message. So let's get these armies together, which is my retinues plus my levies. And oh wait, I need, it has to be 100 ships, doesn't it? That's not, wow, I'm getting so confused about the number of ships I need. Right, what's also mine? Ross, County of Ross has 9 ships. So there's 16 ships. I don't know how many ships I can raise from Mitford, apparently. It's another 19 ships. And oh, I'm going to need ships from Cumberland, aren't I? Another 18 ships. That I think might be enough, or I might need Dublin's ships as well. Let's have a quick look through messages. That's just people being released from prison. That's fine. Right. I should probably also have a quick look at having just. Yeah, he still really likes me, having despite having destroyed this. That's fine. Everyone else isn't going to care that much. I've only basically got 2 Welsh vassals, so the implications of destroying Scotland as a title are reduced, much reduced. Actually, we'll get the speed up a little bit. Right, is this going to be enough ships? Or have I just wasted the time? Right, no, I don't think that's going to be enough ships, is it? 94 ships is not quite enough. We're also rapidly eating into this massive pile of cash I made from ransoming all those prisoners. But that was a very healthy pile of money. I think we'll have to invest that once this war is done. Right, come on, ships. Get your ships together. I just thought of that. Anyway, let's, once it's done auto-saving, let's get this stack of ships merged. Which is basically all my ships. I could have just raised all my ships in one go and it would have been much quicker. Right, and then we'll deposit these guys down in Uusimaa. And actually start this war, which should be a very quick war indeed. Now, I'm kind of wondering if I shouldn't also start fabricating a claim on one of these other provinces. Savo, perhaps, or Poyenma. They both have allies. The other, like, I need 4. I need 4 of these provinces in order to create the Duchy of Finland. One of them's held by Norway, and the rest are all these little ones here. And Satakunta I don't want to touch for now. I can, if it comes to that, like if I create the duchy, I can then press de jure claims for the rest, which is fine. I do want this entire Duchy of Finland to be an archbishopric, though. So I'm going to try and give this bishop as much land as I can, but I don't know how much he can personally hold on to. Let's see, his stewardship skill's not particularly high. It doesn't tell you in more modern or more recent versions of the game. It's got an actual thing of like how much land they can hold, but sadly it doesn't tell you that. But even if you give a count lots of land, like they will try and hold on to it. If you then make them a duke, they will obviously then delegate that. But yeah, and what I can do actually is split this fleet in half and just leave enough ships in order to bring my retinue home, because I'll be able to stand down my regular troops. So this should be a fairly quick war. I think we might Savo's probably, or is it Savo? I don't know. I didn't actually look that up beforehand. We'll try fabricating a claim there. It may or may not happen in Adinfed's lifetime. He's 65 now. So he's doing all right. He's doing all right. I think I noted in, was it the previous episode or the episode before that, that he is one of my kind of longer serving, more successful kings. Even though initially he didn't seem like he was going to be that good, but no, he's done all right for himself. We've got another Irish McJedi, so we've got now 2 Irish McJedis, so that's fine. We've also got a new Duke of Gwynedd, who is, let's see, he's an Irish Welsh Duke. And he's got 100 opinion of me, so that's fine. The Mongols sack Kiev. Ooh, well. We have to be... we're kind of getting a little bit close to wherever they might... Like, this territory's a bit kind of... It's conceivable they might get over towards Finland. The Baron of Tetushi might even find himself in trouble, because Volga, Bulgaria is just kind of sat there in the middle of the Golden Horde. I don't know how they've not been just attacked and slaughtered already, but anyway. So let's unpause and get this going. And as you can see, yeah, there we go. This was a really short war. Of peace. Force demands. There we go. So we'll stand down my... Let's see, let's split off retinues so we can... Wait, now I have to figure out which army is which. It is... The army of Emrys is the one we want to stand down. That's just my normal army. So we can get those guys back home. We will get them back home for now. Oh, marriage proposal. Yes, I don't see why not. Okay, that gives us slightly better relations with Norway, which is fine. I mean, we are going to attack Norway at some point, but for now, I am quite content being on reasonably friendly terms with Norway. Money-wise, we've burned through a lot just having those fleets sitting on standby, basically. I mean, less than I would have otherwise, but anyway, so we'll get that army back home for now, although we will ship them back across. Maybe I should actually just leave them there, the retinue. Yeah, actually, you know, I think we will. I've probably ended up, having just made that decision, I've burned through a lot of cash when I could have just stood down those fleets entirely, but never mind. Yeah, so we will just leave them there. I'll also just check. I'm still actually over my retinue cap at the moment. So we've got this new county. We'll see if we can give it to the bishop. It might not let us. That might put us over the allowed limit of land that bishops can hold. So, county of Hame, and I cannot. So we're going to have to give this to somebody else. Where am I looking? Council? No, court. I want to look at my court. And we really just want to give it to somebody fairly minor, because they're going to end up as a vassal of the bishop of the Archbishop of Finland, as he will eventually become. So, I'm just having a quick look through. We've got a bunch of Gilpatricks. No, that's unfortunately we can't give county titles to with my crown laws. I can't give titles to women, which would make things a little easier. Here we go. Right, we've got this Welsh character, De Tafala. He's yeah, okay. Random person. You can have the county of Hame. There you go. So he might rebel maybe at some point, as the Count of Satakunta ended up doing. Or, well, actually, no, it wasn't even that he rebelled. It was that I pressed a claim and then they weren't my vassal. So, yeah, we're going to keep that army there. We'll actually make sure they've got some good generals. Why not? I also have a prisoner, apparently. Very well, I shall be merciful. You can actually get the oubliette and house arrest kind of things, but it's through this event menu. You can't do it through the intrigue or the diplomacy menu or whatever it was. So we'll actually see if we can't... We've actually got pair of prisoners. No, we can't... we can't ransom you either. So we'll just release them. Why not? It'll be nice. So that's Hame under my control. I think we're just going to skip forward at this point, because there's not a lot else going on otherwise. Although I could... Let's see... no vassal or count can have a negative opinion of you, so we'll actually just very quickly rectify that. So, vassals... and it's literally the Duke of Connacht. So let's see if we can't send a gift or award an honorary title. Plus 10, that's exactly what we need. So we're going to do this. This is a pretty big change, because we've gone for hundreds of years with the tanistry succession. So flipping to primogeniture, we can actually mouse over and see what the effects are going to be. Your successor will like the law, which is going to be my youngest son, but other members of the dynasty will slightly disapprove. So anybody of my dynasty that's like a duke or whatever is probably going to take an opinion hit, because tanistry gives you +5 with all your vassals. So we're going to take a slight opinion hit, but I think it is, for the long run, I think it's worth doing. So there we go, succession by primogeniture. This is a pretty big change. It does mean that if I want to... oh, it's actually gone to my grandson rather than my... interesting. Okay, and he's fake Scottish. I was saying that we would have to engineer through education a fake Scot to come back on the throne, but it looks like it's going to happen just regardless. It's interesting that it's my grandson, though. I thought it was Prince Bruchen down here, but no, apparently it's my grandson who is now going to become the... Anyway, yeah, so there we go. That's done. That's a pretty pivotal moment in terms of what's to come later on, and how we're going to manage the kingdom later on. It really is a management decision. So later on, I mean, with now having primogeniture, we might reintroduce crown titles if we can keep those primogeniture laws for those crown titles as well. But we'll have to see about that. That's a future decision. So yeah, we'll skip ahead here, and hopefully this claim will happen. And if not, well, it'll just be if something interesting happens. Well, we've got a quick interlude here because this event popped up and I've actually got an interesting choice to make. I can stay as being a Welsh cultural character, or I can become Scottish. Actually, proper Scottish. And it would actually annoy all my Welsh vassals. They'd all get -20 opinion for 10 years. But on the other hand, I'd be properly Scottish. So suck it, caption guy. Yeah, an actual proper Scottish Scot, not fake Scottish or anything. So there you go. That kind of amused me. There's nothing else going on otherwise. Although I will... there's actually two very minor things. I actually gave the Barony of Mitford down here in Northumbria to my heir. So Jurahi McJedi has actually... he's now got that barony. He's got a bit of a land base himself. He's the slow one. Having cocked a snoop at caption guy, he's gonna cock a snoop right back, because yeah, the heir to the kingdom is he's a bit of a dunce, unfortunately. So yeah, and funnily enough, even though he's a bit of a dunce, his one really good stat is his learning skill, because that's just how this game rolls. That's just how this game rolls. But yeah, the other thing was the marriage I arranged for... I can't even remember who it was now. Was it one of the grandkids? But anyway, yes, the what was she, German courtier or whoever it was that I brought in, she died very, very quickly after arriving in the court. So I've now actually arranged a betrothal with the Duchess of Barcelona. So I'm trying to still spread the McJedis around a bit, and it's just a regular marriage. So if I can get a McJedi down here, I don't know, it might have some interesting repercussions in the long run. Anyway, that really was it though. That is like nothing else has happened in the meantime. So again, we're just gonna fast forward things and wait for a thing to happen. Well, something like 2 years have passed and still no sign of this claim being made. I did do a cabinet reshuffle, if you like. I've basically appointed all new chancellors, all new councillors, including a new chancellor. So we did swap over, but he's given me about an extra % chance a year. At least he was. He's actually had some event, which now means he's a worse chancellor than the previous guy that was chancellor. But we'll leave him as chancellor because, yeah, he's a duke and the other guy's just a courtier. So having dukes that like you is more important. I swear he was like 20, and then he seems to have lost 2 diplomacy skill, which is unfortunate. But, you know, your councillors, the characters that you pick, can all get events themselves that can have an effect on their stats. So, while we're still waiting for that claim on Savo or Savo to actually go through, I've noticed, in talking of claims, that the Prince Bishop of, or just, I think he'd just be a bishop actually. No, he is a Prince Bishop because he's account level. He actually has a claim we can press on Ireland. And as Gotland has absolutely no allies whatsoever, I am thinking I'm going to press that. Now that's actually de jure part of the Duchy of Uppland, which of course is part of Sweden, but having this island stepping stone under my control, that's actually going to be really useful, so we're going to go for that. So we're going to declare a war, and I still, like, they still don't have a kind of headquarters, if you like, on the map. You've got to click on one of the vassals and then click through, because he's got a city here, but that doesn't seem to be the... Maybe that is the primary seat, I don't know. Anyway, the primary seat is a city that's part of Sweden, because reasons. Yeah, Norway also seems to be having some kind of civil war at the moment, which is a bit of a problem for them. But yeah, so it's this guy. We're going to declare war on this guy and claim Ireland in the name of Prince Bishop Totil of Suomi. So there we go. Now, I don't know how many troops they're going to have available. I've got a boatload of cash, even having spent some money building a castle town level 4 in Castle McJedi. So raising my troops and raising my fleet levies isn't going to be a problem. Although this time I only need half the number of fleet levies because I have already got my my retinues over that, basically. So we'll park them down in Clydesdale. Let's get all the troops together in Clydesdale as well. And let's see, that's 40 odd ships, so we're going to need some more ships. Actually, we'll get the ships raised from Dublin, and then we'll definitely have enough ships. We can select the ships, there we go. Right, the Siege of Worcester. Why is there a Siege of... Oh, rebels. Okay. Might actually have to raise some vassal levies to deal with that. I do have... we've got one independence faction that's sprung up. I'm going to have to keep an eye out for it. Now, it's the Duke of Deheubarth, the Duke of Ulster. The Duke of Deheubarth actually kind of likes me, but the Duke of Ulster kind of doesn't. And changing my succession laws, it's been minus 50 with, you know, all of my vassals. So a lot of them, well, not a lot of them, but more of them dislike me now than did before. But there's only 4 that are actually in negative opinion, which is fine. There's a couple that are kind of a bit lukewarm about me, but on the whole, considering that was a major succession law change, it's not too bad, actually. And considering that I have multiple vassals that are of my dynasty that were directly affected by the Tanistry changes, or the changes from Tanistry, rather, only one of them actively dislikes me enough to join a faction. There's this guy, the Duke of Ulster. So, anyway. Oh yeah, right, so I was going to get troops together, wasn't I? So if I get my, let's see, Duke of Gwynedd, if I get his troops raised, and the Duke of Deheubarth, and in theory their troops together should be enough to defeat. In fact, I can get the Duchess of Mercia, I can get her troops raised as well. If I can find her on the list, or him actually. It's no longer a her. She was succeeded by her son. So that's fine, that's all good. I've also managed to advance the technology level, Legalism 4, which is fine. Doesn't affect me as a king, unfortunately. I think Legalism 5 gives me an extra bit of demence cap. So that's the next one that I'll be pushing for. But, you know, 4 is a stepping stone to 5 in this case. Also, I should check. Okay, those armies are all together. We have enough boats to transport them, so we're going to do just that. And we're going to be attacking across water, across a strait into this 1,000-man army. But it should be okay. It should be okay. So let's merge those armies together, stick on a couple of generals that are kind of reasonably okay, and march them through once their morale's a little bit higher. So this is actually, really, it's the Duke of Mercia's like issue, but he doesn't. I don't think he's got a huge number of troops. So, wow, he didn't last long. Or are we? Okay, so there's a new Grand Mayor of Dumfries, who I think will do the same as I did with the last guy. I'll give him an honorary title just so he likes me a little bit better. And he's hopefully not going to stab me in the back, because I think in theory, I mean, the cupbearer is the kind of the poison tester guy almost. So I've never had it happen, but it seems like in theory it could be, if you gave cupbearer to the wrong person, it could really backfire on you. But in practice, like I said, I've never had that happen, and you're much more likely to get kind of bad intrigue events from having a spy master that's actively working against you. Anyway, an assassination attempt. He is Earl of Athol, presumably plotting against his liege, which would be Duke of Albany. Is he particularly unpopular with his own vassals? No? So I'm not quite sure. Why would I lose... Oh, wait, no, he's not trying to make the assassination attempt. Earl Angus is asking us to deal with it. Okay, I will grant him... that's why it's minus piety for... Okay. So, I guess I will grant him a claim on the perpetrator's titles, which seems to be nothing at all. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. England's... Did I mention England's got a civil war? It's a tyranny war, so it's not going to be a crown losing war for House Caption Guy, but they're losing the crown anyway, so there will undoubtedly be more civil wars after that. Right, are the boats... Did the boats get there? Right, that rebel army's almost done for. The boats did not get there yet. We'll let that other army recover its morale, and hopefully Gotland can't get too many troops. This is 10,000. I'm going to march across there. I will stand down this fleet for now, just to save cash. It wouldn't be a big enough fleet to... Oh, there we go. Castletown built Castle-Jedi. So I'll actually reassign my Chancellor... Not Chancellor. My Steward to collect taxes instead. So yeah, but the fleet there wasn't big enough to actually retreat the entire army to on anyway. So we're attacking across the strait, which gives us a disadvantage, but not a huge one. Well, in terms of it's not enough to overcome the inherent numbers advantage I had there. I actually entirely wiped out that army. We're just going to siege this the old-fashioned way as well, rather than do any other kind of like forcing the siege, because that would be... I mean, I did that in the last video. I forced some sieges and just burned some manpower, but... oh, a tithy, very nice. Or is it tithe? I can never remember. I think it's a tithy. I think I've had this, like, uncertainty in previous videos as well. And then saying the word tithe always makes me think of that one scene from the last episode of the second series of Blackadder, where Rowan Atkinson goes... Oh, it's a scythe! Anyway, but it might actually be tithy. I have no idea. Crusade for Jerusalem! So we've got a... oh, and of course it's Pisa. It's Pisa that's calling for it, so... Yeah, Pisa once again. It's been a while since the last one, actually. But, yeah, Pisa have not forgotten, clearly. They've just been biding their time before they do a bit of the old Deus Vult. So, that should be interesting. Also, this army should have sufficiently recovered. We can attack them. And that should be an easy win. I don't actually know if they're my rebels or if they're kind of rebels of somewhere else. I think they're actually... Yeah, no, they're rebels from England that just wandered into my territory, basically. So we could crush that army, but we're just going to let them be at this point. So we'll stand down those levy troops as well. And let's flick back over here. Like, rebels don't cross borders quite as often as they do in EU4, but they still can cross borders in this game. So we're almost done with this first level of siege in Ireland. We'll actually speed it up a little bit more, because there's not a huge amount else going on. Oh, well, okay. The claim on Savo just popped up, so that timing, though. Of course, naturally, it's Sod's Law, isn't it? So let's call back the Chancellor then. Oh, he's also back to his old self. Skill level 23, so he must have had some wounds or something. But he's gotten his chancelling skill back. That's how you adjectivise that word, right? Also, adjectivise, that's also a word, right? Oh, hello! That's a big Gotlander army. Let's take the speed right down. But they're attacking across a crossing. So this time I've got the advantage. So even though the numbers are reasonably close, look at that, minus 50%, minus 20%. So we're easily going to beat these guys, unless the RNG just completely flips the table. I don't know that there really is much in the way of RNG when it comes to, like, there's probably a bit when it comes to the battle mechanics. But the battle mechanics in this game have always been a bit... Like, the actual mechanics of fighting in Paradox games generally, Paradox-developed strategy games, it has, I think, always been one of the weak areas of those games. And it's actually... I've been sort of thinking about it and reading up about it in the context of Stellaris, which is, of course, upcoming in the relatively near future. And I've seen people making the point that, well, you know... Historically, it's not been a strong point of Paradox games, so how will it be in Stellaris? Because, of course, fighting's a big part of... it's going to be a big part of a Space 4X game, and it will be interesting to see how exactly it pans out. Anyway, that was a resounding victory. That's given us a massive amount of war score. Can we actually see from that one fight? 75% war score from that one fight. And I think actually... having high numbers of troops against each other, like if you have that kind of resounding victory with a big army against another big army, that can be worth a lot of war score indeed, as it was there. So we've almost done with the second level of siege. There we go, 99% war score. I'm actually going to march them across. We have a ×3 numbers advantage, which should be enough to overcome. Actually, they don't even want that fight. They're trying to clear out of there. So we've nearly won this war. This was actually quite a nice war. You know what? Even though it's going to make this a long video, we're going to go after Savo as well. I will have to stand down my regular troops to do it, but I'm still going to have the retinues in place over here. And it means my Prince Bishop's going to be that little bit more powerful because he's going to control Ireland. And there we go. There comes the peace officer. Peace offer. We're not even going to finish that fight. We might as well just accept the... there we go. Accept it so we minimise the losses to my retinues. So Ireland is now... it's part of... well, it's going to be part of my holdings. And that's fine. I'm happy with this Prince Bishop being reasonably powerful because it means he'll be able to keep order within his own duchy. Because I fully intend to, once I've got Savo, create the Duchy of Finland and award it to this guy. And he can then keep the peace. And I'd rather have him as a bishop be the Duke of Finland because he's much less likely to revolt and be involved with plots and things. So talking of plots and things, I'll actually very quickly, let's have a look. Yeah, my opinion, I've actually bumped up with both those guys. I'm really not... This particular claim war is extremely unlikely to happen. This is my nephew, Earl of Gloucester, apparently. But yeah, no, that's very unlikely. They don't have the manpower. These guys might be more of a problem, but still, 30% is not a huge deal. So let's very quickly check. She's actually got more allies than the Count of Hame had. But is it going to be enough? Well, it's the High Chief of Estonia, which is down there. They've actually got to get across. And also the Chief of Kola. But I don't know what kind of troop numbers they're going to have. So I might want to, having stood down those troops, I might have to sort of reform them and bring them over again, I think, just to be on the safe side. I think I will do that just to be on the safe side. So first off, we'll declare the war. This is going to be a 3-war episode, which is unusual, but it's going to mean substantial progress in Scandinavia. Ireland was completely, like, that was just serendipity, the fact that I noticed that the Prince Bishop had that claim, and then I was then able to press that. And it also gives me a very good idea what the strength of Gotland is as well. So we will again raise our troops, and again raise the same boats. So from Dublin and Castle Jedi, I can actually, rather than have them march, I can just put them on the boats and it'll be a bit quicker. So let's bring everybody to, shall we say Moray? That's probably slightly more central. Get those boats there. So bring them all together, and I could march those troops in right away. Chances are I've got more than enough troops just there to beat them. And let's see, yes, Estonia has called into that fight. But if they all group their troops up at me, up against me all in one go, then that might be problematic. Also, my granddaughter, Alema of Dublin, I will get her married off. And actually, of Dublin is the same dynasty as the Count of Satakunta there. So anyway, she could... Oh, there's a new king in Castile. A boy king. Interesting. I wonder how that's affected the war. I could marry her to a duke. I mean, that would be a pretty good marriage for her. The kings are a little young. Duke of Portugal. Portuguese Duke. That seems like a good match. It's probably rather above what she might have expected otherwise. I don't know what kind of a match the AI would have made there. Anyway, let's unpause. We're just waiting for all the armies to come together, basically. And they've said yes to that, so that's good. Well, it's nice for her anyway. Right, so the army's almost together. Doing these kind of consecutive wars in the current, was it 2.52? The current version of the game, as I learned when I was on my little Aztec adventure, it really gets tough quite quickly. You start to get more and more people joining defensive pacts against you. Even people that have absolutely nothing in common, and no common cause, and no common geography, will start to join defensive pacts. And I think they changed it from how it was initially with the coalitions, and I think they kind of toned it down a bit. But I think, as far as I know, it's still tied to diplomatic range, which I've pointed out in the past is potentially ridiculously huge. So yeah. Oh, this is the one I married to the yeah. He's popping out lots of Irish offspring. They've been particularly fertile together. They've got 4 kids already. This is the one that's the heir to the Kingdom of France, by the way. I was going to check France, wasn't I? Let's have a quick look. So how's Medina... Or Medina, how have they gotten Luxembourg? I don't know. Anyway, France. So, Thibaut is still being succeeded by him, and apparently he fought Castile to a standstill. In fact, Castile seems to have some serious rebellion problems right now. Someone's pressing a claim on Aquitaine. Somebody else is pressing a claim on the Kingdom of Castile itself. So yeah, I guess it's the internal problems that Castile's having in the south of France that's really it seems to have nobbled their chances of grabbing France. So I was speculating that, you know, there'd probably be civil wars if they managed it, but they haven't even. So it looks like we're set for a McJedi to be on the throne of France, an Irish McJedi on the throne of France, because why not? Although, if he's on the throne of France for long enough, I mean, the reason why we've ended up with a Castilian Capes in Castile is they probably got the event that I got to culture flip. But it took an awfully long time for that to happen, though. And if the culture, the home culture of the capital had been fake Scottish, it would have been fake Scottish. He got the option to culture flip to instead. So anyway, right. So this army is approaching, and yeah, that's Estonia's troops. So it's probably a good thing we're bringing these reinforcements in. So again, we'll stand down the fleet just as they get there. We're also getting a really nice income from Castle McJedi now at the moment, which is 20 gold. Is that? I can't remember if that's like per annum per month, but overall, I mean, the finances are very healthy. We're still getting as much money just about from city taxes as we are from the demesne taxes, and a big chunk of that is just Dumfries alone. That's like a quarter of that alone. So yeah, those vassal republics are very worth having, definitely, especially the merchant republics, if you can keep them happy, because of course them having a lot of wealth potentially means, you know, if they turn rebellious, they can hire mercenaries and such like, and potentially be a serious problem. Anyway, so this also should be a fairly short war, and after which I think I'll have enough cash to easily create Finland. It's taking an awfully long time to march in there, though. There we go. So this army is up, and let's march on Savo. And they're actually trying to get out of there, it looks like, but I don't think they're going to manage it in time. Actually, some of them are marching into Hame, even as I'm marching into Savo. And some of them are trying to march there, I think. Essentially Karelia. Now, they do have a defensive advantage, because I think this is marshy terrain. No, it's hills. Okay, we're attacking into hills, so they have a defensive advantage. But we have no attacking penalty. If you can get somebody to attack you, and you get a defensive bonus and they get an attacking penalty, like, that is absolutely the best case scenario. If you can get those kind of fights, it's wonderful. Getting to attack somebody to attack across rivers or across a strait into hilly or mountainous terrain, it's like, okay, you're just throwing your troops away at this point. But of course, equally, you have to be careful that you're not making that mistake yourself. So let's just speed this up while we get this siege going. We are actually getting fairly hefty. That's got a vanishingly small supply limit, that province. Right. Oh, right. King Thibaut of France has died of the Great Pox. So you know what that means. King Emrys McJedi, King of France. And if only I was an emperor. Now, the downside, I was thinking about this, the downside of me having switched away from Tanistry is there is no chance of me getting this guy, or bringing, not this guy specifically, but bringing the throne of France into the realm through Tanistry succession. Because as a Tanistry, what I could have done is try to engineer him as being the successor. Because he's of the right dynasty, even though he's in a foreign realm. And that would have brought France in as well. But because I've switched to primogeniture, that can't happen, unfortunately. So that's one of the big advantages of being a Tanistry, is you can get stuff like that happening. And he's immediately calling me into a war, in fact. He can probably handle it himself, but, you know, we'll probably accept anyway. He's attacking Navarra. And I will accept. I mean, sure, why not? It's a war he can almost certainly handle on himself, so that's fine. Oh, also a message. An event pop-up. One day, passing by a monastery, you come upon a monk sitting and painting in a field. You observe his work and marvel at the composition, the colours and the fine brushstrokes that bring the simple canvas to life. This monk is truly an artistic prodigy. I can buy the painting for 10 gold and get 30 prestige, which I don't really need, or I can just get a kind of nothing event. I don't know, 30 prestige, why not? 10 gold's nothing at the moment. It's less than a month's income. And, you know, it probably made the monk very happy. So this attrition is burning through my men, but I've brought more than enough. But seriously, that is an incredibly small cap. I mean, it's just... That's vanishingly small. Supply limit, 848. This province has a supply limit of less than 1,000 men. Anyway, this is not going to take long, though. We've broken through that barony, and this city doesn't have really any defences. So that's fine. We'll offer peace, and I think we'll also... There we go. Wrap up the episode. So, I should be able to make the Duchy of Finland. I cycle through, create the Duchy of Finland. It costs me a bit of cash, but more prestige. We'll also stand down those non-retinue units. And I could give it to the existing count, but we'll give it to a new count. And we'll actually then create this guy as the Prince Bishop of Finland. I don't think I can just give it him and have him like handle that title on his own, because I think we're already at the limit for the number of vassals I can have that are bishops, or how much land they can hold rather, because it's only a certain percentage of your overall holdings. So this is a major step forward. Creating the Duchy of Finland then gives me de jure claims on these 3 provinces, and that will speed things up for next episode. I can actually maybe accelerate things in Finland a bit, take Satakunta and Pohjanmaa next time. That's a strong possibility. So that would be a really nice step forward. So who can we offload this to? Somebody fake Scottish maybe? One of the Gilpatricks, actually his father. Oh, he doesn't anymore. I could give it to him. He's fake Scottish. The Gilpatricks have been a fairly loyal kind of... like he's going to be a vassal under somebody else, but it'll ensure that the Gilpatricks do actually continue on as a line. And he's got sons, so he'll definitely have somebody that inherits. So there we go. He's going to be succeeded by that guy, and who will presumably sort out some kind of wife for himself at some point, you would hope. We'll also get my son educated, although his education's nearly done. But oh, she's good. Let's pick her. No, wait, that's marriage. Oops. Educate child, not betrothal. Let's see. Well, actually, yeah, we will have her though as the actual educator. Right, so we don't want to create any more of those titles for now. We're going to give this guy grant landed title, the Duchy of Finland, and he's obviously going to get a big opinion bump out of me, with me for that. That means he's now going to be keeping internal order. He's got 3 counties of his own, so he's in a relatively strong position. So yeah, this is feeling like we've made a lot of progress this episode. Next time round, I can almost certainly get those next 2 Finnish provinces that are there, and one of them, the third one, is held by Norway. I'm not sure I'm ready to take on Norway yet, who seems to have... yeah, they won their civil war. So, yeah, it probably will be just that, but we might also maybe make inroads against England again, because the truce with England has or is about to expire. So, yes, we have things we can do down south as well. So hopefully you've enjoyed this episode. This has actually been quite a long one. This is going to be fun to edit together. And if you have, you can leave any comments below. You can hit the like button. You can sub to the channel if you aren't already. And as always, stay tuned for more.